Welcome our channel. Strange discoveries, things in people's findings backyards. A homeowner found 1,000-year-old Native American remains in his yard. The bag with a lot of green in it that is worth a lot of green. The bag with a lot of green in it that is worth a lot of green. In December 2012, in the Silver Lake neighborhood of Los Angeles, Mac Reed was preparing to install solar panels at his residence, and while opening up an underground access vault for an inspector, he made a discovery that would make Cheech and Chong jealous. Reed and the inspector found an army green bag stuffed with approximately $175,000 worth of marijuana and hash. The bag was filled with 60 jars, bags and packages of all varieties of the herb. Realizing that whomever left the stash there could return at any time, Reed called the LAPD but was told by the operator that everyone in his district was out on an emergency. The dispatcher then asked Reed if he could drive the bag to the station himself. As Reed, a former reporter for the LA Times, said in his blog about the ordeal, he responded forthwith, "Yeah, I don't think driving around with 20 pounds of drugs in my car is really a good idea." A supervisor was sent out to investigate. When Sergeant Adrian Legospe arrived, Reed asked the sergeant how this could have happened. Legospe asked if he ever made any posts on Facebook when leaves town. Reed, realizing his error, responded that he might have posted a photo from the Grand Canyon over the Thanksgiving weekend. Legospe suggested that Reed remove the hatch doors completely, and show the bag's owner that his secret has been found out, but he came up with a different approach. Fearing his kids or gardener would fall into the vault, he instead left a note. It read, "We found it and called the LAPD. They confiscated it and now are watching the place. Sorry." Source, photo. 2. A Ferrari found buried for years in a backyard. A Ferrari found buried for years in a backyard. In 1978, two kids from Los Angeles decided to pass the time by digging in their own backyard. To their utter amazement, they found a Dino 246 GTS Ferrari. With the help of local police officers and a small crew of men, the car was excavated. After a bit of investigating, it was discovered that the car was stolen 4 years earlier and buried in the yard by the thieves. It was originally bought by Rosendo Cruz of Alhambra, California in 1974. Miraculously, nobody who lived in the area at the time reported seeing anything strange. But then current residents also claim no part in being involved with the engulfed auto. After removing the car from the yard, the Ferrari, estimated at $18,000, $75,000 in today's money, was returned to the insurance company that had covered Cruz's loss, and paid him $22,500, and subsequently put on auction. It was rumored a mechanic bought the car and moved without a forwarding address. Regardless, the car slipped once again into obscurity. That is, until a LA journalist ran a story about the missing Ferrari. The story caught the attention of a man named Brad Howard, the car's current owner. He bought the Dino in 1978 from a local businessman who bought it from the insurance company. Why was the car buried in the first place? It is believed to have been an insurance scam. The thieves were to allegedly destroy the vehicle but loved it so much, they buried it and intended to retrieve it from the ground at a later date. Howard is still the proud owner of the metallic green Ferrari, which sports a license plate that reads "Dug Up." Source, photo. 3. The couple who found $10 million in coins on their property. The couple who found $10 million in coins on their property. We've all read stories about finding buried treasures of gold since we were children. For a couple in Sierra Nevada, this fairy tale of sorts actually came true. An unidentified couple were walking their dog on their property one day in 2013 when they saw the top of a rusty canister poking out of the ground. The canister contained a bunch of gold discs and they took it home. After brushing the dirt off of the discs, they were almost perfectly preserved $20 gold coins dating from the 1890s. They hurried back to the location of their find and discovered a total of 8 cans containing 1,427 coins with a face value of $27,980. The discovery was a coin collector's dream, A total of 1,373 were $20 coins, 50 were $10 coins and 4 were $5 coins. The coins were minted from 1847 to 1894. About a third of the coins were in pristine condition and never circulated in the general public. It is believed this is the biggest hoard of gold coins ever unearthed in the United States and is valued at $10 million. The couple decided to remain anonymous, fearing treasure hunters would rip up their land. Coin dealer Don Kagan and numismatist David McCarthy helped evaluate and restore the coins, dubbed the Saddle Ridge Hoard, for auction. McCarthy claimed he worked until his fingers literally bled restoring and appraising the coins for sale. Kagan will sell them on Amazon.com in the near future. Just how the hoard got buried there remains a mystery. In March 2014, the U.S. Mint stated that they do not have any information linking the Saddle Ridge Hoard coins to any thefts at any United States Mint facility. Source: 4. A bomb shelter found fully stocked and intact. A bomb shelter found fully stocked and intact. Chris and Colleen Otkisk bought a house in Woodland Hills, California in 2013 and were aware there was a special feature included in the backyard, a fallout shelter from the 1960s. The couple figured the shelter was just a hole in the ground, but the hole turned out to be a time capsule. Built in 1961 during the height of the Cold War by nuclear engineer Alvin Kaufman, the shelter was perfectly preserved. The shelter supplies were still completely intact and included aluminum foil, tissues, sleeping pills, cans of multi-purpose food and eroding cans of coffee. There was also plenty of reading material in the shelter to ward off boredom, in case the Kaufmans were in the shelter for an extended period of time. On second thought, maybe the hole in the backyard isn't a shelter but a wormhole to the past. Okay, maybe I'm the one who should lay off of the science fiction books. Source: photo. 5. Man died unexpectedly after finding cursed money. Man died unexpectedly after finding cursed money. In August 2011, Wayne Sabaj was an unemployed resident of Johnsburg, Illinois who lived with his father. Sabaj was picking broccoli in his backyard garden when he found $150,000 stashed in a nylon bag. Worried that the money came from a robbery and that he would be charged, Sabaj turned the money over to police with the understanding that if the money wasn't claimed by anyone else by the end of 2012, it would be his to keep. Both an 87-year-old neighbor, Dolores Johnson, and a Naperville liquor store owner stepped up and attempted to claim in the money. Johnson, who suffered from dementia and died the following January, claimed she had gotten rid of the money because it was cursed, according to court records. A judge ultimately gave Johnson's daughter the bulk of the money with a portion of it set to go to Sabaj as a reward. However, Sabaj, the man who once said that he spent his last $10 on cigarettes, died 10 days before receiving the prize. Wayne Sabaj's father, Kevin, received the money, but not before he went into cardiac arrest upon learning about his son's death. Cursed money indeed. Source: photo. 6. The 1,000-pound fossil dug up in a backyard. The 1,000-pound fossil dug up in a backyard. Back in 1978, Gary Johnson was a junior at Rolling Hills High School in Rancho Palos Verdes, California, with a keen interest in archaeology. Around that time, he noticed a large rock sticking out of the ground with a bone pattern in it. With the help of friends, he rolled the 1,000-pound rock, using logs, about 200 yards into his family's backyard. After chipping away shale and dirt, Johnson called in an expert to get an opinion of his find. The expert deemed the fossil not very significant and the rock sat in the backyard for over 35 years. In February 2014, Johnson was watching the news and saw a piece about a 600-pound, 12-million-year-old sperm whale skull found at Chadwick School, which was just a few hundred yards away from where he